Okay, we are live. Uh, hey guys, what's up? We are doing the first episode of the H&L movie show, I guess. We don't really have a name for it. Uh, and we are going to be discussing the Avengers Age of Ultron. We saw this Thursday night, and we're going to go through spoilers of all the characters, and then at the end we're going to have a Q&A. So with me today is Hassan, and I'm Lee. That's H&L. So, Hassan, you want to say something?
Hey guys, glad to be here.
All right. So, what do you think of the movie, first of all?
I really like this movie. This is, I would say, definitely the best movie I have seen all year, without a doubt.
Over Kingsman.
Definitely over Kingsman,
Oh,
yes.
definitely over Kingsman. Okay.
Oh yeah. The
I'll fight you on
excitement
that.
of seeing this movie was just leaps and bounds beyond Kingsman.
Yeah, this movie definitely had a lot more hype than Kingsman. It's my second most anticipated of the year.
hmm
Yeah, it lived up to all my expectations, exceeded quite a few. I was a little disappointed in a few areas, which we'll talk about tonight. But yeah,
Yeah, I think this is on par, if not better, than the first Avengers movie.
yeah, I think it's almost perfect. If Avengers is 10 out of 10, this is a 9.5.
hmm
Okay, so if you guys did not read the description, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through character by character, spoiler filled, of course, and I have a list up right here. Let me bring it up. All right, so first character we're going to be discussing is Iron Man. Personally, this is my favorite of Iron Man. I think there wasn't a whole lot of character development, but at this point, there's a whole lot more development you can do for him. But what having him start to become the bad guy, leading up to Civil War, was really fascinating. And I thought they did a great job of that.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see Iron Man still dealing with what happened in the first Avengers movie. He went through the wormhole and he saw the aliens, and he recognizes that that is the ultimate threat at this point, which of course is leading up to Infinity Wars. So it was nice to see him trying to deal with that with the Ultron program here, or with the I guess the Iron Legion as it was called.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's the only one who kind of understands what's going to happen when Thanos comes. That shit's gonna. Oh, sorry, language. That shit's gonna go down when Thanos comes, and I just think that's really cool. Like he knows what's gonna happen, and he's trying to explain this, and the other Avengers don't quite understand it like he does. And I think that's what's gonna start the conflicts of Civil War, and that's gonna be like the Iron Man's right too, even if the registration isn't the exact answer.
Exactly, yeah. It was kind of weird to see him put the suit back on after what happened in Iron Man 3, but
Yeah, that was probably my biggest complaint with Iron Man. They just kind of forgot about Iron Man 3. They're like, oh, I'm not Iron Man, but hey, now I'm Iron Man. What's up?
yeah, yeah. It
Also,
was
another complaint about Iron Man. They, I don't know if maybe it might just be me, but did he have a new suit at the final battle?
I think he did. I really like the
Okay.
design of that new suit. It
I
it
like the
looks
design. It looked a
it was
little bit
really
too
cool.
CG.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot sleeker than the
Yeah, it
previous.
looked like really like chrome. I don't know, not
hmm
the browser. It just looked. I don't know. Just didn't look as natural or like as like an actual suit.
Yeah, but I think in general the technology that he had in this movie was definitely lived up to what we've seen in the past. It was nice to see the Iron Legion kind of as the evolution to the uh, the artificial intelligence that he was kind of developing in Iron Man 3 with the
Oh yeah,
autonomous
like
suits.
the 40 suits at the yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So that was nice to see, and also the Sentry mode that he used in at the beginning. That was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was something they should have gone back to. I actually really enjoyed
hmm
that. Actually, if the Iron Legion had that, that would have been really sweet.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed when we watched it, but the voice of the Iron Legion that tells them, that announces that they're here to help, and whatever
Yeah.
that message was, that was actually recorded by James Spader.
Oh, so that
Yeah,
was like the first voice of Ultron.
yeah. So I'm not sure where he
Oh,
gets all these voices from. You've got
user
like
complaints are
Ultron
saying you're a
and
little bit loud. Hold on, I'm gonna fix
oh,
that. All right, keep talking.
but yeah, I'm not sure where he gets all these voices from. He's got Ultron, Jarvis, and Friday too. That was
Yeah, Friday shows up. That was
interesting
like she's
change.
was she always? Well, I guess Jarvis was there in the comics, but
Yeah, I'm not sure if Friday's a character from the comics or just another AI that he has. But
What was the other AI's name? Because he picked between two. Not Jarvis, obviously. Like there was a third one.
are you talking about Veronica?
No, he picked between like microchips when he was picking his AI.
I think the other one said Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Well, I've only seen it once, so I'll rewatch it. But
Yeah,
yeah.
same.
Okay. So I think that's enough about Iron Man.
You can
Any
never have enough Iron
closing
Man.
remarks?
Yeah, you can never have enough Iron Man. But
Yeah.
also, oh, let's talk about Hulkbuster. I guess that kind of
Oh yeah, I guess that would be Iron Man.
talk
I
about
liked
that.
it. I think they didn't do enough of Hulkbuster, personally.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
I think we could have seen maybe like him building the Hulkbuster machine. Like it just kind of shows up and it's a cool set piece, and then they're done with it. Or
yeah,
like he shows up in Hulkbuster again at the final battle. Just like it's such a cool idea, and they promoted it quite a bit, and they just didn't go back to it.
yeah. Joss Whedon did say that the his cut of the movie was over 3 hours long, and I would definitely
Yeah.
love to see that cut. And I'm sure it has more Hulkbuster. I liked how they referred to it as Veronica throughout the movie, and then finally we see what Veronica actually is.
It had been a while since I've seen The Incredible Hulk, and I forgot what the name of his girlfriend was. And every time they said Veronica, I thought they were referring to Liv Tyler's character. And
Yeah, yeah. I
turns out
don't.
her
I
name is
think.
Betty Ross. Nowhere close, but yeah. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that is Iron Man. Any other remarks before we move on? Is on any more remarks? Yeah, there. Please hold. Please hold. Please hold while I eat an Oreo. Oh, now he's muted. No, he's not muted. Let's see what happens. This is a damn good Oreo. Uh-oh. Yeah, someone shut up. Okay, please hold. Hello? Oh, our live viewers. How are y'all doing tonight? Anyone want shawarma? Cool, me too. Okay. Yeah, I think Hassan just kind of died. Let's see what happens here. Oh, hey, we have two viewers. That's cool. Hi, two people who care about me. Thanks, Seth. Where'd you go, buddy? He's talking into the mic, but we cannot hear him. This is why we should have used Skype. Okay. No, sorry. Google, you're great. Okay. Yep, we're still holding. uh, hang up and join again. No problem. You guys are the best. Oh, Hassan's gone now. That's pretty cool. Let's invite him back. Hey, it's our first episode. We're not perfect. Probably going to be our last episode, depending on how this goes. I love you guys too. Thank you for the hearts. Oh, oh, hey, hey! Do you guys
All
hear
right,
that?
can you hear me?
That's Hassan. He's alive. That's cool. Okay,
Perfect. So
so,
let's move on to Captain America.
yep, thanks for dying on me, by the way. Captain America did that to Peggy Carter, and you just did it to me.
I wasn't dying. I was frozen.
Let it go, bro. Okay, we're done here. Um, actually, Captain America, besides another character uh, that I enjoyed, Captain America was probably my second favorite character in the film. I feel like they developed him the most, and they went off of what happened in Winter Soldier, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
Absolutely. The new costume, by the way, I'm really loving this.
It's my second favorite. I'm not gonna say I preferred the Winter Soldier costume, but I think for what it was doing, I like the Winter Soldier costume much more.
You're talking about the black
The
shield
blue and
costume.
the stealth costume.
The stealth costume. Yeah, yeah. So that was the shield costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that one.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I liked that one, but this one has, I think, the right element of classic of the classic costume without being too cheesy, kind of like what we saw in the first Avengers movie. I wasn't really into that all too much.
Yeah, the first Avengers was like really I don't know how to describe this without sounding weird. It was like flat in a way. Like he didn't look big. He just kind of looked like I don't know what's the word. Maybe like an acrobat or like someone not really in a skin tight suit. Like he didn't look built basically.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true. The design seemed more printed on, whereas this one has a lot more texture.
yeah, I think this and the World War II suit was like where he had the most like boof to him. And
Yeah,
it's really
yeah.
hard to do audio only, but like he just looked a lot bigger.
Yeah. I think this one definitely had a lot of inspiration from the World War II suit, but then it had, details like the Avengers logo, and I really
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, that was nice.
Also
Sorry,
the
we're in a group chat and they're all watching us right now, and they are
yeah.
being rather sarcastic. uh,
Also
yeah.
the lack of a helmet of any kind was really nice to see. I wasn't a
Oh,
huge
yeah,
fan
he
of
didn't wear a helmet at all.
so, and that was nice because if you remember in the first Avengers movie, they actually had one of the Chitauri soldiers pull off his headpiece just so they could get it off of his head. I was definitely really not into that.
Actually, I completely forgot about no helmet. That's actually kind of nice. He looked human. It's
Yeah,
nice when people do that.
yeah.
Shout out to all the women at our school. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Um,
So yeah, I think all in all, definitely enjoyed Captain America. What did you think, by the way, of
this. Oh,
um his I guess nightmare sequence that Scarlet Witch induced?
actually, when the first teaser trailer came out, they had, I think, a frame of him walking through that dance, and I had a bet with a kid, uh, and he and I were debating what it was, and I was like, oh, he's gonna go back in time, and he's like, no, that's not it. He's probably just like in some weird part. I'm like, no, I think Scarlet Witch is gonna send him somewhere, and that kid owes me $3. That's pretty cool.
Wow, you just made a nice little $3 right there.
Yep, three
Which
buckies, if you will.
good one.
Thank you.
So,
Also, the setup to Civil War, I felt like
yeah,
there wasn't enough of it, but I felt like what they had of it was really substantial. The wood chopping scene was amazing. That's probably actually yeah, I think it's my favorite scene in the movie.
yeah, it's really good. Again, as I said, Joss Whedon said there was like over 3 hours in his original cut. So I'm assuming there was a lot of setup that was cut from the film, but I think all in all, there was enough of it, and also some with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we have special spots for them.
Hmm
No, yeah. Do you want to talk about the new lineup now? Just
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a fan of it, definitely.
um, yeah, I it's not as iconic as our current lineup, but that's also because that was the first lineup. Uh,
Hmm.
sorry. Thanks, Sophia. But um, sorry, someone just okay. Let me continue. Uh, it's not as iconic. It's a lot more secondary characters. With especially the Falcon and War Machine. Like you wouldn't think of them when you think of the Avengers. You just kind of think of them from their own respected franchises. Uh,
Hmm.
I'll put my computer on do not disturb mode before anything goes bad.
Nice to see Falcon
Yeah,
and War Machine in there because you always wonder during the other movies like where are
yeah.
they and
Where the
why
hell
aren't
was
they
War
helping
Machine
out?
during the Chitauri invasion? Just
That's
throwing that one out there.
You mean Falcon? Yeah, Falcon was.
Well, Falcon wasn't necessarily around to be Cap's colorful friend. Uh, Captain America and his colorful friends. Sorry, Baron von Strucker. Um, but yeah, and so like having them show up was cool. I was texting about this morning. It kind of seems like they're going for a more buddy system sort of thing. In a weird way. Let me bring up the text I sent you. Uh,
That's true. You've got
yeah,
Captain or you've got Falcon and War Machine
who are both
both
African
from.
American military men, and then
Hmm.
you have two redhead Eastern European women, in Scarlet Witch and Black Widow. Which I'm also loving the fact that there are two women on the team. That's cool. And then also there are two people who are like fish out of water, like not in the current time, Vision and Captain America. So like each one of them has a buddy. That's so cool.
That's true. Yeah. So they've definitely got some similarities among the team.
Yeah. So I think that's enough about the new lineup. No, this is probably no, I don't think it's my least favorite character. I didn't enjoy him as much. Thor.
Thor. Yeah, Thor's an interesting character.
Thor was a little rough in this one, but I think Thor's just a rough character altogether. Like I've never been really impressed with the standalone movies. Dark World I thought was not that great, and um, his first one was actually pretty solid, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Well, his standalone movies haven't really been up to the mark of the other ones. I really enjoyed Thor as a character, especially in this movie. You can tell he just wants to have fun. He just wants to have a beer and just have a good time. And
Um,
that was really nice. It was nice to see that Joss Whedon really understands that, and he really portrayed that pretty well.
yeah, the I am mighty. I can't go under a spell thing. And then he walks into his own dream. I thought that was like a nice touch. Like there's
Hmm.
a, I feel like Joss Whedon is the director who most understands Thor, and I hope they fix this for. Let's make Joss Whedon direct Thor Ragnarok. No, but having a director who like understands what's going on would be awesome. Uh,
That's true. Yeah.
like Joss Whedon is the best person to bring Thor to the screen, and it wasn't even Thor's movie.
That's true, and you see that in throughout all of the characters. Joss Whedon really seems to have a great understanding of all of the characters, and definitely gives them all their moments to shine, without stealing the spotlight away from the team as a whole.
And like I said when I introed this character, I didn't really like Thor in this movie. I think like I said, Joss Whedon understands the character, but I feel like he was depicted a lot better in the first Avengers movie, and also the side quest thing. Why
Yeah,
was
that
that
wasn't
in there?
really.
If
I
there's a 3 hour cut, why would you use that? Like, I feel like there's so many better things.
Yeah, Thor really, all in all, did not have a lot to do. I think
Yeah, he
in the
just
first
didn't do
Avengers
much.
movie, he was definitely more prevalent, especially with Loki also
Yeah.
being in the movie. Here, he was just there, and he did his thing, and it was nice to see, and it was nice that he was in there, but he was not a show stealer by any stretch of the
Yeah, like
imagination.
I feel like if you're a Thor fan, you're not necessarily disappointed, but you just I don't know. This isn't gonna be like, oh my god, Thor's in this and he's better than ever. Like no, I mean I would say that for Captain America. I'd say that for Hawkeye. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't really think I'd say that for Captain America. Or
For
sorry for
Thor, you mean?
Thor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was nice to see him use lightning a lot more.
Yeah, he used lightning. That was cool. That was kind of something missing, or it wasn't missing. It was in the first Avengers for like a minute. Like he goes to the building, strikes lightning, kills everybody, and then he never does it again. Um, I don't get it.
Yeah, but and of course the hammer sequence at the in the beginning of the movie, that
Oh my
party, that
God,
was
him and Captain America. Like, did you figure out how uh, why they like thought about that in battle? It didn't occur to me. I think I was watching AMC's review. Uh, it's based off of. Do you remember in the woods in the first movie when
exactly,
Thor's like, "I'm
yeah,
gonna drop the
they were
hammer," and
fighting.
this Cap gets in the way, and it creates this huge sonic boom. They worked off that for those two sequences, and that's so cool. And like Captain America slingshotting Thor's hammer, it was just. I feel like Thor had some of the best action. Some of the CGI in him looked a little weird, but
Yeah, especially in the beginning. I saw it
yeah,
in 3D, so that whole scene at the beginning, that was not the best, but I think it was definitely the scene between Captain America and Thor, that was so good, and it definitely I think it topped the motorcycle scene with Captain
yeah. I
America.
mean, the motorcycle thing. It's just not like holy shit, I can't do that in real life. I mean, well, you can't really do that for. Oh, sorry, language. You can't really do that for um, the bike, or you can't really. Well, you can do that with the bike, but like, it's not necessarily like you don't have a hammer that you can do that with in real life. I mean, I could go
True,
to my
yeah.
toolbox and hit it against a metal sphere, but it's not going to do anything. But like when
No,
you
it
have the
will be
hammer
far
of the
less
gods,
impressive,
yeah,
definitely.
I'd probably break the sphere. Okay, now let's talk about Hulk. Hulk is kind of in the same boat as Thor for me. I feel like he didn't have as well. He had more to do actually in this movie. He just didn't really do much.
Yeah, it was. I kind of have mixed feelings on Hulk. Of course, it was nice to see him having again with the Hulk being able to control the Hulk, and that moment when he was asking if is this a code green, guys. That was definitely nice to see. Um, but then, what are your thoughts on his romance with Black Widow?
Ooh, Brutasha. Okay,
Natasha.
I was not digging Brutasha at first. I started to like it, and then I hated it. Um, when they first announced that Brutasha was going to be a thing, I'm like, oh, okay. I can see it. I can't really though. Like I always kind of figured Natasha being with um, Clint, but then we realized that's not going to happen in this film, as we'll explain later. But Brutasha or Bruce would be or Natasha.
Natasha.
Yeah, thank you. Natasha would be with Clint, and then um, Bruce would be with Betty, and that rhymes. That's actually kind of funny. Uh,
Yeah.
Bruce and Betty. Um, I always just kind of thought that they had their own designated love interest, and then when they announced that they're going to change that a little bit, I was okay with it. I mean, like Bruce is a good person. It's not like he's Tony or anything. Like Tony and Natasha,
Yeah.
that'd be so bad.
Yeah.
But thank God that's not happening. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they established the fact that they can't get together, as we'll explain more with Black Widow. That like can't have kids because he's the Hulk and green
Yeah.
zucchini.
Mhm.
And Black Widow was sterilized in the Black Widow program, or what was it called?
I think it was the Black Widow program. Yeah.
It's the Black Widow program of Agent Carter. Did it have a name in the movie? I thought there was something different.
I'm not sure. It was just I remember it being the Red Room scene that.
Yeah, the Red Room. Yeah, basically for the Black Widow program. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so they kind
So
of. Oh, God.
thanks. So yeah, I don't. It was really nice to see her being able to calm down
Yeah, I
Bruce
really enjoyed the
at the
lullabies. That was
beginning
cool.
of the movie, and I think they could be a really good couple. Again, I really wish I'd seen that 3-hour cut because there must have been more kind
Yeah.
of developing their romance.
I think after this, we are going to start a petition and get people to sign it to release the 3-hour cut on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, they would make a lot of money that way. So, and
Well,
also
hey,
the
Titanic's 3 hours long. Just saying.
yeah, yeah,
Long movies make money.
yes, they do. They do. It was also nice to see. I really like the moment when Natasha pushes Bruce into
Oh
the
yeah,
pit
yeah. That was just
and
like great Marvel
forcing
humor.
him to Hulk out. That was that was really funny.
It was kind of a. Empire Strikes Back moment, if you will, because
Almost, yeah.
Joss Whedon said that one of his inspirations for the film was Empire, and like that kind of reminded me of the Leia Han romance of just like, oh, except it wasn't carbonite and he wasn't about to like cry.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about Phase 2 just in general? Having Kevin Feige address this, he planted some subtle
Oh yeah.
Star Wars references throughout the Phase 2 movies. So in every Phase 2 movie, which was Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the
Guardians.
Galaxy, there was
Oh,
all
and Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. Those both count as phase
exactly
or
yeah.
phase two
So
films.
we see in this movie someone getting their hand cut off, as we did in the other 4 movies thus far. And in this movie, it was
It was Klaw.
well, that's right. It was Ulysses Klaw, played by
Who cut his arm off again? Was it Ultron?
I believe so. Yeah, Ultron.
I'm seeing it again
Um,
tomorrow, I think, so we'll find out.
yeah. Okay. Cool. So, but it was Ulysses Klaw, played by Andy Serkis, the motion capture master.
God,
And yep.
don't downplay it.
So,
He's on the same level as Thor.
pretty much. Yeah. So that was it was nice to see that whole Star Wars motif being continued throughout this film.
And
And
in Ant-Man, I hear the rumor is Thomas the Train is getting one of his wheels cut off.
oh, that
Yeah,
will be
that's
brutal.
the arm removal scene.
Oh man, I don't. That's gonna be pretty
Thomas
tough.
be crashing.
Mhm.
Hashtag Thomas be crashing. Okay. So next up, how we've really got off topic, is Hawkeye. This was my biggest surprise of the film. I knew they were going to increase his like presence, and I wasn't sure how they were going to do it, and they did it really well.
Yeah.
I think bringing his family into it, we all kind of thought he was going to die, and he did it, which was really cool, and we'll talk about that. Rip Quicksilver, rip. But I guess it
Yeah.
wasn't really relevant to begin with, but
Well, yeah, that's a shame. But I was really impressed with what Hawkeye did. He really did not have a lot to do in the first Avengers movie. And as anyone who's seen the Hunger Games or the CW's Arrow knows, archers can be damn cool. And we never really got to see that with Hawkeye. The first
I think you
Avengers.
forgot Goldilocks himself, Legolas.
Oh, of course, and Legolas in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit movies. Definitely one of those awesome archers.
Damn
Hawkeye,
it, I
not so
dropped an
much,
Oreo.
but yeah. After this movie, definitely he's right up there. You got to see a lot of again his backstory. We saw his wife, played by Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, Carolina, yeah.
And his kids. I think that was it was a great scene to have his house actually be the safe house that they go to.
Yeah, when the El Capitan footage came out, and they're like, here's the trailer or the clip hinting at Civil War, and like, no one really knew what it was, and like, or where it was, I guess. And it's the scene where, my personal favorite scene, when Iron Man and Captain America are chopping wood together, and they kind of discuss that like, anytime you want to start a war before it begins, innocent people die, and just I didn't really know where the house was. I kind of assumed it would just be like, oh, it's Fury's nephew's house or something, or
Yeah.
Captain America has a kid, or like I don't know. I just really never thought about, oh, what is this mysterious farmhouse? And so
Yeah.
and finding out it was Barton, and Barton had a family. The whole girlfriend thing was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was well done. Yeah,
That scene was definitely a great setup for Civil War. Seeing their conflicting ideologies is definitely laying the groundwork for Captain America: Civil War next year. And I would say definitely Hawkeye was he had a lot to do. I love the scene with him and Scarlet Witch when he says
yes,
that
the mind control.
yeah, that too.
Oh,
Hawkeye had a lot of great moments.
yeah. Hawkeye had, I think, the best screen time. If not Captain America, it was Hawkeye.
Yeah, his one-liners were definitely on point. His what he said.
Pun intended.
Yep. No, actually, there was no
On
pun.
point like an arrow.
hmm He when he said that they're fighting aliens and all he has is a bow and arrow or something to
It
that
was
effect.
robots, yeah.
Robots, of course. Well, there are.
He's like, I have no idea what the hell. Oh, sorry, language.
Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Did you just correct me on my language? No, no, that was so great.
That whole like the running joke throughout the film. That was definitely a welcome addition. So, any last thoughts on Hawkeye?
Um, I'm glad they didn't kill him. They retired his character, so they might as well have killed him. But I think the choice to keep him alive, because it was predictable. Like everyone thought it was going to be Hawkeye, or I think Natasha was thrown in there of who's going to be on the chopping block
Oh, that
for
would
the
be
Avengers.
tragic if
And
Black Widow were to die.
yeah, Black Widow's death would be rough.
There would be parade. There would be just riots through the streets.
Well, I think that would be an interesting character to kill because I mean we haven't really been with her that often. I mean she was in Cap 2 and Avengers and she got great development in Cap 2. Um,
Oh yeah,
and like we heard about her tragic past and that was kind of when I realized it wasn't going to be her.
yeah. It was the development that we saw from her in Avengers and then in Winter Soldier that would make her death so tragic. But that is assuming that she would actually stay dead, which I really hope they do with Quicksilver because again, as Whedon said in an interview that it really it the emotional impact that we got from Coulson's death in the first movie was completely taken away when we saw him come back in Agents of Shield. And I think once they kill a character, they just need to kill the character.
I'm homicidal with my movie characters as well.
Hmm.
As we kind of already segued into Black Widow, I didn't like her as much in this. I liked her backstory. That was really fascinating. The whole Red Room thing, and her trying to fail. That was really fascinating. But I think Brutasha kind of ruined it for me. She felt really clingy, and like she really like couldn't live without Bruce Banner, which is a little weird.
Yeah, I
Like
think
the whole like flirting at the bar scene, like that was just I don't know. I wasn't really digging it.
yeah, it was an interesting scene, the bar scene. Also, it was really nice to see her with the widow's sting. That was very cool. And her
But
picking up that whole scene with her dropping out of the Quinjet on the motorcycle and grabbing the
yeah, but
Cap's
I,
shield.
I feel like all of that was in the trailer, and I don't know. That just wasn't like overwhelming for
It
me.
was still definitely a cool scene to
Yeah.
see, especially when you had it in context and you saw her just going through the streets of which city was that?
Um, was that Seoul? No, it wasn't Seoul. Seoul was the one who got lifted. Or no, it was filmed
Uh,
in Seoul. I don't remember. Wachovia? God, there's
that
so
might have
many
been
fake
maybe that
cities
was
in
the
that
city
movie.
that
No,
got
that
lifted.
was the city that got lifted.
So it might have been Seoul, yeah.
No, it wasn't Seoul because Seoul's a real city. Um, I'll look that up while you talk.
Yeah, well, regardless of which city it was cool to kind of see them. Almost like the opening of Skyfall with the motorcycle chase. That was it's really cool to see that. Um, it was nice to see her, I guess, back with her hair from the first Avengers.
Yeah,
Um,
I liked her hair better in Captain America, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
yeah, I guess Whedon is just a fan of that hairstyle, so um, that was an interesting choice. But her humor, again, very good. But I don't know. I think just again, a great performance from Scarlett Johansson, and she, I think, like Thor, almost, she was good in the movie, but she was definitely not the show stealer.
And the show earlier, I have two characters who we've not talked about yet. Um, and I think the first one is Scarlet Witch, who we're next going to talk about.
Yeah,
Um,
well, the show stealers, no doubt, Vision and Scarlet Witch. These are
Vision and
my
Scarlet
new
Witch, I think
favorite
we're yeah.
Avengers.
I think Scarlet Witch, who I also have a crush on, um, and Vision were by far the two best new things about the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit concerned, or not really concerned, but a little bit hesitant on seeing Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in Avengers. I know, of course, they have the rights to use them, but when you don't have the rights to Magneto, who of course is an integral part to the twins, being their father, it kind of it's not you don't have the full characters then because you can't explore their history with their father and the fact that they are mutants. None of that can be even talked about. So I was a little bit hesitant, but after seeing the way that they were handled in the movie, they never really made a huge deal about any of their backstory. There was just they were just there, and I really liked seeing that. And the way that their backstory was explained, I think that was really good, especially with having the missile that Wanda talked about, the missile that didn't go off, and it had Stark Industries on it, and that definitely set the seeds to Civil War, and it definitely explains why she joined Cap's team. It was very cool to see that.
Yeah, definitely. I was still looking up that city. I can't find anything on it. If you
Oh,
guys know, please feel free to comment or chat room it. I don't know. Is that up? I don't understand this.
so yeah.
Hold on. Well, we got a chat room. No one's talking in it, so that's cool. Uh, someone read a love note to me. No, but Quicksilver. Well, or sorry, no, Scarlet Witch. That's who we're talking about. I screwed up the order, but that's okay. Scarlet Witch is. I think there are so many ways they could have done her character, and so many ways they could have done it poorly, and they just didn't. And that's so cool. I loved her, both because she's hot and and because she's just a fascinating character. Her and the Vision will be interesting, even though I think the Vision is out of her league. Or I'm sorry, she's out of the Vision's league. And her powers made sense, or actually they didn't make sense, but they made sense. Like Maria Hill said it best. She's weird. Like she can manipulate stuff, which they never really show in the movie. Actually, I think about like the block scene at Winter Soldier. That never really happened.
That's true. Well, there was the scene with the train.
Oh yeah, she stopped the train, right?
So there was a little bit of that, but of course we never saw the full extent of her powers from the comic books. We didn't see her altering probability or her hex powers or any of that.
Not yet. Or making
Not
children.
yet.
She did not make children.
Yeah, it'll be
No Vision babies.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they explore the romance between her and Vision, which is of course a prevalent part of their relationship in the comics. But it'll be interesting to see if they explore that in the future, especially since it's looking, unfortunately, like Vision has to die.
Yeah, I was just thinking about yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so our other favorite twin, Quicksilver. Obviously the elephant in the room. Quicksilver does die. Spoilers. Well, we already said there would be. I enjoyed Quicksilver's death. A lot of people were saying he died too soon, and I don't think so. They needed to kill a character, and establishing Hawkeye, or everyone thought Hawkeye was going to be the guy to die. And I'm glad they didn't, because they sent him off in the right way, and he'll come back for Infinity War or
I think
Civil
he'll
War.
be in Civil War as well.
Yeah, he'll be in Civil War, and then they'll send him off for Infinity War. Except him dying in Infinity War would be kind of cool, or Civil War would be kind of cool.
It would, yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look up his contract. But
I think at some point they need to have the Avengers not be able to save everyone, because instead of someone dying among their own team, I think people need to die outside of the team for the stakes to really be raised to the level they need to be for Infinity War. I think we could see that in Infinity War, and that would be.
I would personally be okay with well, Nick Fury, I would say, but I mean, they already tried to kill him once, and I would feel repetitive if they did it again.
He's a Jedi.
Yeah. Or he's He's Mace Windu.
Yeah.
That's probably it. But yeah, I mean, death in the MCU has always kind of been an issue. Like Loki died twice, Thor died, Coulson died, and they're all back. It's just I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
Yeah. But so can we talk now about my new favorite character coming out of this movie, the Vision?
I loved the Vision. I thought he was going to look so stupid after seeing. Actually, I hated the poster that came out about him. I didn't really say anything about it because I just don't want to piss you off. But I actually thought he looked really stupid. And I completely take that back.
Yeah, it was. I definitely did. I didn't expect them to go to mirror the comics so closely. If you compare the Vision in the comics to this one, it's just that the color scheme is a little bit more muted, and he doesn't have
Yeah.
that stupid color
Oh, I want the
on the
color,
cape.
man. Come
But
on.
oh yeah, I mean that's Doctor Strange's thing. You know, he can't steal the
I,
spotlight.
I I don't think it'll be on Doctor Strange either.
I mean, we're so used to seeing Benedict Cumberbatch with the upturned collar and Sherlock, so I think it'll look right at
Yeah,
home.
and you tried to do that at our Sadie Hawkins dance, and how'd that go?
That was yeah.
That was a fun experiment that failed. Um,
Hmm.
no, but out of all seriousness, Vision is awesome. He's based off Jarvis, which is great. Paul Bettany, he did a great job as the Vision. Like, I don't think people are giving him enough credit. Like, they're just kind of like, oh, the Vision himself is cool, but Paul Bettany played him really well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's it was definitely interesting to see his origin. Of course, it being very different from the comics, where you had the human tissue um that I guess incubator that grew human tissue, but then Thor actually electrocuted it with his lightning, which I think uh, added to the Vision's power set of being able to
Hey, yay,
fly.
Thor did something.
Yeah,
That's a first.
definitely added to his power set of being able to fly and being able to spontaneously alter his appearance, as we
And
saw.
pick up the hammer.
Yeah, absolutely. So that elicited gasps in the
Yeah,
theater.
yeah, that
So
was kind of insane. Everyone was just, it was like a mix of, holy crap, this guy's amazing. I'm sorry, language. Um,
yeah,
and okay, this guy's worthy to be an Avenger. Something also from the AMC review, I'm bringing them up again. Um, they pointed this out, and I didn't notice it until I rewatched the movie. Uh, when when Vision's first kind of making his appearance, and he like grows the suit, and then he grows the cape. When he grows the cape, he's looking at Thor. Like he
yeah,
envies Thor's cape, and that's so cool.
it is. This is what I've been telling you for years. Capes are badass,
Yeah, wear him
and
to school.
yeah, I did that
Tell
one
me how
time.
it looks. You did?
I
Oh,
did for
I think it was
Halloween.
absent or something.
And but he sees Thor's cape and he's like, man, this guy. And he puts on the cape. And
And
so
Thor
I
has a
think
buddy now. That's cool. Thor needed a buddy.
yeah, there you go. Cape buddy. And
Don't we all need a cape buddy?
we do.
Coming to a store near you.
you you
We're gonna have
had
we're gonna have little teddy bears with capes on them.
oh yeah,
They're gonna be
absolutely.
$15 on Amazon.
14.99 that is.
$14.99. Okay, I'll give you that.
You had so his power set is it's very interesting because of course he has the mind gem in his forehead and he can shoot lasers out of that too. So that was such a cool scene to have Thor shooting his lightning, Iron Man shooting his lasers, and then you had the Vision shooting through his mind gem. That scene.
Yes. Um, something I was alluding to at the when we were talking about Iron Man, Captain America. Uh, I was debating what my favorite scene was. Uh, and I kind of decided it was the wood scene, but my second favorite scene is I think like second to last frame, or no, not frame, like whatever, second to last scene of the movie, and it's Ultron and
Vision.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Ultron and Vision in the forest. And it's so like Shakespearean in a way, of it's two brothers, one's good, one's evil, or one's fighting for order, one's fighting for chaos. They're not necessarily good or evil, as Vision mentions. Um, and it's fascinating and it's so beautiful. Like Ultron doesn't necessarily look evil. Like he looks like he was trying to change the world and he just didn't do it correctly.
Yeah.
Like I kind of loved Ultron in that scene, and then he tried to kill Vision and he blew up. But
Yeah. Also, the composition of that shot with the lens flare of the sun
it,
behind the tree and
yeah,
the way that the camera angles, it was just beautiful.
the frame I sent you of oh, let me find it here. it's the two of them in the forest with the sun right by Ultron.
Hmm.
And it looks so great.
Yeah,
And I don't
that
know if
was
it's in like 8K. It just like it looked so nice.
definitely a beautiful shot. Absolutely.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that 8K exists. Thanks, LG.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Okay, and as we have started the conversation, Ultron.
Ultron. Wow, I think definitely by far one of the best villains we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic
I'm
Universe
gonna
so
say
far.
this now, and if you want to punch me in the face when I next see you, you can. I liked Ultron more than Loki. I felt Ultron was a lot more grounded. He was a lot more relatable. He wasn't a whiny stepbrother. No, I'm not hating on Loki. I love Loki, but I'm just saying I feel like Ultron was menacing. But you still felt for him in a way,
That's true. You could definitely. He was a very relatable character.
and he was
I don't.
funny.
He was. His sense of humor. It was nice to see. It was very different from Loki's. Loki
But
has
do you know
kind
who it
of
was the
more
same
of
as?
what's that?
Stark. It was the same as Stark's sense of humor, which is
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. So you can definitely see Tony being kind of a father figure to both Ultron and Vision.
yeah. And I felt like Vision and Ultron are both like the kids of or the sons of Tony Stark, and you can see that in a way. Like Vision is the good person inside of Stark, and Ultron's the bad person inside of Stark. I think that's such a cool element to have.
Yeah, definitely being two sides of Tony's personality. It was a very cool thing to see. Speaking of cool, Ultron's vibranium body. That was I think we got to it a little bit too soon. But
A bit
again,
too soon. His
there's
vibranium body showed up at the very end. Are you talking about his full metal?
yeah, the thing is the vibranium body didn't look all that different from the
It had
metal
like
one.
an extra layer. I kind of noticed it, but
It
I mean, like
was
they
it
didn't
was
put enough
yeah,
emphasis on it.
it was bigger, yeah, but um
Ultron
again.
likes it bigger. Okay, I'll shut up.
The again, the movie's only it can only be so long, so I can see kind of why they rushed to that. Um, but it was just the design of Ultron was really cool, and that first scene where we see his I guess his first full metal body
Oh, in the throne?
in the throne where he has
Yeah.
that cloth draped over him. It was so good, and it's so reminiscent of that iconic shot of Ultron sitting on the throne holding the Ant-Man helmet in his hand.
Sorry, Hank Pym. This isn't your
And
movie.
yeah, of course, Hank Pym or any Ant-Man related things were not in the
Yeah, there
movie.
was that's actually kind of surprised me. There was no Ant-Man at all. Like,
Mm-mm,
it's their
no.
next film. Kind of promote it a little bit, man.
Yeah,
Because
and of course
they're
we
already on the struggle train. I think. I think it's gonna have like a 70 million opening weekend.
70 million I think would be safe to say. Yeah.
Like it's not
Um,
gonna bomb, but I mean, come on, Marvel, get it together.
yeah. Obviously, the name, definitely helps Ant-Man a
Mm.
lot. And of course, we knew going into the movie that they changed the origin of Ultron and Vision,
Yeah, and
to
I
kind of
enjoyed
steer
it.
away from Ant-Man. I think they did that really well. It was very natural, and it wasn't it wasn't forced as I think a lot of people feared it would be. Just to again put more emphasis on Iron Man, it felt very natural that Iron Man would build this technology after seeing the aliens through the wormhole.
Yeah. And speaking of aliens in the wormhole, we are going to talk about the biggest bad of them all in the MCU,
The God of Death
Thanos.
himself.
Well, not God of Death. He's in love with death, though.
Oh, is he?
Literally.
Okay.
Or is he the God of Death? I'm going to Google that.
He might be. But anyway, we see Thanos come back once again since his last appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, of course, unlike in the first Avengers movie, we have Josh Brolin voicing the character and playing the character as well through motion capture. And we see the Infinity Gauntlet. We haven't seen that since, I believe, the first Thor movie, where we
Yes,
saw it
barely.
as a brief Easter egg in the background. And it's unclear if Thanos is actually in that place in Asgard, or if the
Yeah, they didn't
Infinity
really
Gauntlet
establish where it
moved.
was, or if he already had it.
That's true. Yeah, if somehow the Infinity Gauntlet had been moved to another place since then. But it was cool. It was really awesome to see Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Of course, no stones in it as of yet, but
He'll get them himself.
he will.
Um,
That was a really cool line.
uh, after our Google, or after you brought up God of Death, Thanatos is the Greek personification of death.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's like the basis of it. But yeah, he's basically death. Like Than is the Greek prefix for death. Shout out to vocab.
Yeah, and Stanley and Jack Kirby are definitely not afraid of making a very obvious call out to.
Yeah, and that's great.
Absolutely.
And making a
Yeah.
call out to Darkseid, but hey, that's none of my business.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's okay. Didn't just off topic? Didn't DC have like Captain? I think it was Britain.
Captain Britain. These superheroes just get more stupid by the day. Although
No, I
Captain
think
Britain is actually
yeah, there's like Captain Britain or Captain English or something.
actually okay, I'm just in love with British culture, and so that actually wouldn't not as stupid as the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. Actually a thing, by the way. Or
Don't forget about
Plastic
Calendar
Man.
Man.
Oh, of course, Calendar Man. How could we forget Calendar Man?
Everyone's favorite. Only in Arkham City. Of course, you wouldn't get that because you haven't played it.
I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Yeah, I know. We have to actually learn how to play video games first.
Hey, I am the master of Tetris. Just saying.
Yeah, so is my grandma.
Shots fired.
Yeah. All right. So other characters that we want to talk about. Go ahead. Like any supporting characters.
So we already mentioned Ulysses Klaw earlier.
Yeah.
Again,
Claw is showing up. I'm assuming they're bringing him back for Black Panther.
probably, of course, he's a big part of the Black Panther comic series. Also, we had Dr. Helen Cho. Now, I don't think we've seen her before.
No,
Am I
we
wrong
haven't.
about that?
This was her.
No, we've not. So, yeah, she was definitely a nice opening character. Seeing her working in the lab and being interrogated, I guess, or being held hostage, really, by Ultron, that was really cool to see. She was, and her little crush on Thor definitely personified that of many of the audience members. So that was neat to see.
What do you think of Fury?
Nick Fury, it was
I
it was a
like how
nice
he
little.
wasn't in it as much. Like, I mean, they kind of established the fact he's on the down low. They completely disregarded the fact he burnt his eye patch.
Yeah, that was again a little bit of a continuity error there, as we saw with the lack of continuity to Iron Man 3 previously.
Yeah,
It was a nice little,
it almost
I
felt
guess,
like
surprise. Oh, sorry. It was a nice little surprise to see him in the barn. We all knew he was going to be in it, but wasn't
nothing but a
exactly
whip
sure
and
where he
all
was going to
wheel.
show up. Yeah. Wasn't exactly sure where he was going to show up, so that was nice. Oh, and it was definitely cool to see him bring a helicarrier in at the end of towards the end of the movie there.
Yeah, the helicarrier thing and Hill. Hill didn't really. I wish we saw more of Agent Hill. She didn't really
Of
show up
course.
at all.
Oh well, actually, Agent Hill was in there.
Yeah, I mean,
she was in there from the
she was in
beginning
the
of the
opening
movie.
scene in the party, and then we never saw her again.
Yeah, so but I definitely like the character. Kobe Smulders does a great job especially with the humorous aspects of the character. And was it just me, or did the voice of Friday Tony's AI
It
Friday. It
did,
sounded a
yeah.
lot like Agent
It did
Hill.
sound like Hill. Yeah. Speaking of Friday, that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about that though. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Friday in this, or for what she did, which was being female Jarvis.
Yeah. It was nice to have a little a new voice in the helmet.
Pun intended. Of course. Well,
Hmm.
actually, it's not really even a pun. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
Never mind. That was a stupid comment. Okay. So let's get into the Q&A. Our first question is Josh, and he is asking, why did Jarvis become Jesus?
Okay. There's definitely a lot of Jesus symbolism there with the character of Jarvis. Also, I found a lot of
Or, well,
symbolism with
Vision,
Doctor.
right?
Oh, Jarvis. Yes, of
Yeah.
course, Vision. And of course, Paul Bettany playing them both gets a little confusing, but with the Vision, there was a
Jar
little bit
Vision.
of a
Oh
yeah,
my God. The last three letters of Jarvis spell Vision, or the first three letters of Vision. Illuminati can jump.
coincidence. I think not.
Jar
But
Vision.
Jar Vision. So, speaking of Vision, there was a lot of Dr. Frankenstein symbolism there
Yeah.
as well, being brought to life by the lightning, in this case by Thor. Um, and making Tony Stark, I guess, the Tony Stark, Dr. Frankenstein, and Vision being the monster. So it was really
The
nice to see.
irony is that the person who tried to create him, which was Ultron, was the monster. Well, to an
Yeah,
extent.
and of course the word
I guess they
irony
both were
being
monsters.
ironic in and of itself when you're talking about Iron Man.
Yeah.
But
And then man's ironic because you're talking about Vision because he's not one.
oh,
Okay, we could go on forever.
we could. Um,
Just like the MCU.
pretty much. So anyways, so Vision. It was definitely nice to see some symbolism, some deeper level symbolism being put into the film, and it was just again a really well put together film. It was a really smart movie, in addition to just being a really fun, exciting action movie.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's go ahead and okay, we have a question from Dr. Seth. Um, nice touch, buddy. And he is asking what we think of the Hulk's relationship with. I'm assuming he's talking about Black Widow.
Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit earlier.
I was not a
I
huge fan.
You're not a huge fan? Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I don't really like buy it. Like it really seemed like Black Widow was forcing that relationship. I really enjoyed the line of Captain America saying, "I'm the expert of waiting too long." That was very true, and
Yeah,
and so
nice
I mean I
little.
think that was probably the incentive that I think the one negative word I would use to describe this movie is rushed. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I think it's a 9 out of 10 for me. But I feel like it was rushed, and I feel like that's the issue with Brutasha. I think Brutasha was just really rushed.
Yeah, again, there's so much material here that we could go for like a 4 hour or 5 hour movie,
Yeah, I
and
hope, like we said earlier, I hope that extended cut comes out.
yeah, I would definitely not be bored through any of it. Um, but again, yeah, there was definitely it was a bit rushed. But and again, I really wonder what happened to Betty Ross, was it?
Yeah, Betty Ross.
Betty Ross. But you know, yeah, I really enjoyed seeing this. When there was a line that Natasha had that she views herself as a monster, and and of course Banner being literally a monster. That was a very nice parallel. Also, we talked about the bar scene a little bit earlier when Black Widow, Natasha, says that all her friends are fighters, but Bruce really isn't. We saw, especially in the first movie, he
Well,
was
he's
really
half a fighter.
he is, yeah, the other guy, as he would call it, is the fighter. But we saw, and especially in the first movie, that he is really straying away from fighting. And in this movie, he embraces it a little bit more, especially now that he has
He isn't
control.
Mayweather or Pacquiao.
Exactly, yeah. Now that he has control of the other guy. he's embracing being a fighter a little bit more. But it was definitely a nice parallel to see them both viewing themselves as monsters, and I guess that makes them the perfect couple.
Yeah. Well, they might not necessarily be the perfect couple, as we saw. There were
Yeah.
definitely better moments, coupley wise. Um,
Oh yeah. So we can talk about that. Actually, the Red Room scene that gave a little bit more
oh
backstory
yeah.
on Black Widow, which is really nice. That we've, despite never having to this point seeing a Black Widow solo movie, we've gotten bits and
Yeah.
pieces of her origin story in every movie that we've seen her in thus far, and this definitely is no exception. We see her, as you mentioned earlier, trying to fail and her being sterilized when she was put through the operation. Now it was
I really
unclear.
enjoyed that actually, the whole sterilization thing. They kind
Yeah.
of established that. I don't think you watched How I Met Your Mother, but a spoiler about I think season 8. Robin, who ironically plays Maria Hill, and Barney are in a relationship, and it is revealed to Barney that Robin can't have kids, and it's one of the more powerful scenes. But then kind of realizes why they work as a family because, or as a relationship because Barney isn't really about kids, and I felt that way a lot with um, Hulk and Black Widow. That Hulk can't really have kids because, spoiler, he's the Hulk, and Black Widow can't have kids because she was sterilized in the Black Widow program.
Yeah, and it was definitely, it provided a lot of character development in a very subtle way. Also,
Yeah.
those major spoilers for How I Met Your Mother season 8. I haven't seen that yet, so just saying.
Oh, sorry, buddy. You'll forget.
It's
Sleep it
all
off.
but yeah, that was it was very it was nice to see that. It was unclear if they put any kind of, I guess, super soldier serum. Obviously nothing to the extent of what they put in Captain America, but
super, super widow.
yeah, there was it was kind of hinted at
I'd pay
previously
to
that
see that.
yeah, as would I. It was but it was kind of hinted at earlier in the earlier movies that there was she had kind of some kind of enhancement. Um, so it wasn't made very clear if that was actually the case, but in either in either case, I think we can move on to the next question.
All right, our last question of the night is from Sophia, and she asks, Ultron is, of course, a dark personification of Pinocchio, as shown as his repeated "no strings on me" line in the teaser trailer. Do you think this is or do you think references to classic Disney movies will show up more in the future? If so, in what way? I don't necessarily think they will. I think they were kind of taking advantage of the fact of Ultron's character as actually that's a really good point. The personification of Pinocchio, because that's kind of true. I mean, it's if you actually um, in the Pinocchio reboot, Robert Downey Jr. is playing Geppetto. I believe that's his name.
Oh my
The
gosh.
man who makes Pinocchio.
Oh my
And
gosh. Pick that up.
yeah, I mean, you can look at Ultron being a Pinocchio, uh,
Yeah.
and that's actually a genius point. Yeah, shout out to Sophia. Um,
Yeah.
as for references in the future, I don't see that happening. I think they're just kind of taking advantage of the fact that Marvel is owned by Disney, and it was just kind of a good analogy to make.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier with the deeper level symbolism with Vision and Frankenstein's monster, here's just another example of that. And it was so well done in the trailers with that creepy version of the "No Strings on Me"
Mm.
song.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Um,
that to hit iTunes. Get on it,
that
guys.
yeah, I need to listen to that every morning. But in either case, with other classic Disney movies, obviously Disney's famous for their princess movies, and of course we have a little bit more of that with Scarlet Witch.
I
Um,
want to see Scarlet Witch and Black Widow make a Frozen reboot, having Black Widow, or actually, I guess they're neither of them are blonde. Never mind, that won't work.
True. I mean, if we are going to see a Frozen reboot, it has to be with the X-Men and Iceman in
Oh,
particular.
Iceman, and yeah, that would work.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the "How It Should Have Ended" video for Frozen, that was
Iconic.
yeah. But you've got Scarlet Witch, I guess, kind of being I guess the closest thing we have to a princess.
Well,
Um,
princesses are head cases,
True. In some cases
and
that
Scarlet Witch is a person who gives head cases. So maybe she makes a princess. Maybe Vision and Scarlet Witch's baby is a princess.
yeah,
How
actually
they
we
tie
can
Frozen into the cinematic universe. That's actually Elsa's father. He died in the
that's
shipwreck because his system was fried in the water.
hey, that's definitely a case, definitely a possibility rather. In the comics, if you guys don't know, there was of course, Scarlet Witch and Vision had a romance, and in order to have kids, of course, Vision being an android couldn't physically
Android sperm,
reproduce.
android sperm, android sperm.
No, actually, that didn't happen. uh, Scarlet Witch actually, it was part of her power set that she willed her kids into existence. They actually had twins, and the twins were representations, or I guess mirrors of her and her brother Pietro, Quicksilver, and so it'll be interesting to see if they incorporate that into any future films. We've seen Marvel's slate so far, and with that in mind, it doesn't look like we're going to have that much time to explore her relationship with the Vision in too much depth.
I'm gonna say in Civil War we will see more of it, especially with them being on the new Avengers together. I think
Oh,
that will be your next Brutasha.
that's true, yeah, but and I'm definitely very excited to see more of Scarlet Witch and with Scarlet Witch and Vision, but
Not Quicksilver.
not anymore. Um, Maybe in Thor Ragnarok we might get a little bit more, although I doubt that.
Yeah, I mean I can see that.
It could, yeah, I guess especially with Vision having the mind gem that really that ties him to Asgard and to the world of Thor.
And what are the two stones remaining? It's
Uh,
the it's hold on, let me Google it real quick. Keep talking.
so currently we've had, and it was nice to see that they, I guess, reminded general audiences of this, where we saw that sequence where they went through all the Infinity Stones that we've seen thus far, just to make sure that the casual moviegoer who isn't as familiar with the comic books knows that these different stones that we've seen throughout different movies are actually related, and that they actually will come together at some point, and of course that point being Infinity Wars in 2018.
And
Um,
excuse me real quick. Soul Gem and Time Gem are the two gems we haven't seen.
and So it'll be interesting to see how they explore that. Probably one of them will be featured in Thor Ragnarok, and the other, I'm not sure where we could see that.
Do you want me to give you a theory I just came up with?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know how much validity it is, how much validity there is to it. But one of the gems that we still have is Time Gem. I think there's a way they could introduce it in Captain America: Civil War. I think maybe the damage of the war will be so catastrophic. Maybe like Iron Man dies or Captain America dies, and they use the Time Gem to go back in time to bring him back.
That could definitely be interesting. Of course, I
It
mean, the
would be
Marvel
Marvel.
Cinematic
Yeah.
Universe does have a history of killing characters and bringing them back, so definitely not outside the
This
realm of
would be a
possibility.
cool way to do it if they did do it.
Oh yeah,
I would be in
absolutely.
support of that.
Yeah.
And then the Soul Gem, maybe we'll see in yeah, that's actually a good spot for the Soul Gem in Ragnarok.
Yeah, especially because I think Kevin Feige has said previously that Thor Ragnarok is going to be the Winter Soldier of the Thor series.
And he also said it's going to be the key film in Phase 3, which is kind of funny because Thor movies aren't necessarily that great.
Yeah, so definitely hyping this one up. It's surprising to see that that'll be the key film and not Captain America: Civil War, but I'm definitely very excited for all the future films nonetheless, and it'll be very interesting to see how they move forward with the I guess two new teams of Avengers, and how they incorporate Ant-Man into this. It's not very clear how um, Scott Lang or Hank Pym or Hope Van Dyne are going to fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward. And I really hope that that Ant-Man and the Wasp do join the Avengers. But in any case, it'll be very exciting to see them this summer.
For sure. I think we're going to end our first episode of the H&L show here. Thank you so much for everyone who's stuck through it, and thanks for everyone, of course, giving us questions. For more like this and movie news, please subscribe to the H&L channel, and I hope you guys have a good day. Son, you want to say any final words?
Just if you want to see more of our thoughts on any movies, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at Hessann Faruqi.
And I am at Lee_Brockway.
So make sure to check us out there. We have loved talking to y'all, and we hope to do it again. Thank you guys so much, guys.
Have a nice day.